Good evening, I'm Ava. Tonight we focus on growing concerns around Indiana Fever star Caitlin Clark as her recovery from a groin injury continues to raise fears about her immediate future and the Fever's playoff chances. Head coach Stephanie White has provided the latest update, and while it offers a glimmer of hope, the message also leaves lingering uncertainty that has the basketball world on edge. Clark, the top overall pick in the 2024 WNBA Draft and already one of the league's brightest stars, has been sidelined since mid-July after suffering a right groin injury in a matchup against the Connecticut Sun. Initially, there was optimism that she might return quickly, but her absence has now stretched into weeks, with no official timetable set for her return. Coach White admitted recently that Clark has not yet been cleared for full practice, and while she has begun running and working through some individual drills, the guard remains unable to engage in full-contact team activities. The coach's exact words were cautious. "That's the hope. It's the hope she's back." Those comments, while intended to provide some assurance, have instead left fans and analysts worried that Clark's return this season is far from certain. The Indiana Fever have felt the impact of her absence in multiple ways. Clark's elite shooting, playmaking, and leadership were central to the team's surge earlier this season, when she helped lift the Fever into playoff contention and draw record-breaking viewership across the league. Without her, the team has struggled to generate consistent offense, leaning heavily on veteran guard Kelsey Mitchell, who has been forced into a dual role of scorer and floor general. Mitchell has been nothing short of exceptional, but she cannot replicate the dynamic energy that Clark brings to the floor. Compounding the issue, the Fever have been plagued by additional injuries. Guards Sydney Colson and Ari McDonald have both been ruled out for the season, leaving Indiana with one of the thinnest backcourts in the league. In response, the organization signed Odyssey Sims to a hardship contract, but the rotation remains fragile, and the loss of Clark has stretched every other player's responsibilities to the limit. For a team that was finally beginning to find its identity, this wave of injuries could not have come at a worse time. Despite these setbacks, the Fever have displayed resilience. They captured the Commissioner's Cup title and have managed to stay competitive in recent weeks. Yet, with the regular season nearing its conclusion and the playoff race tightening, the margin for error has evaporated. The Fever currently sit in 7th place in the standings, but with just over 10 games left, every result matters. Without Clark's return, their postseason hopes could hang by a thread. Fans have reacted with frustration and concern to the updates coming from the team. On social media, many have expressed disappointment at what they see as vague or inconsistent messaging about Clark's status. One fan remarked that the constant hoping from the coaching staff is starting to feel like avoidance, while another wrote that the lack of clarity is making it hard to stay invested in the season. Still, most fans recognize the delicate nature of a groin injury. These injuries can be stubborn, and rushing back too soon could risk re-injury, potentially jeopardizing Clark's long-term health and career. That caution is clearly the approach of Coach White and the Fever's medical staff. White has emphasized repeatedly that the priority is Clark's long-term well-being. While the competitive fire in Clark likely pushes her to want to return quickly, the organization has made it clear they will not compromise her future for short-term gain. It is a tough message for fans eager to see her back in action, but it is also one grounded in responsibility and care. Clark's absence has been felt not just in Indiana, but across the WNBA as a whole. Her presence this season has transformed the league, drawing record television ratings, sellout crowds, and an unprecedented level of mainstream attention. Her play style, marked by deep three-pointers, fearless drives, and unmatched court vision, has made her must-watch television. Every game she has played has felt like an event, and her absence has left a noticeable void in the league's narrative. Even while sidelined, however, Clark has found ways to impact the team. During one tense moment in a recent game, she intervened from the bench to calm her coach and prevent a technical foul, showing leadership that extends beyond her playing role. Teammates have noted that her voice remains important in practice and during games, as she continues to encourage and guide even while she cannot suit up. That influence, though valuable, is no substitute for what she provides on the court, where her numbers have been among the best ever for a rookie guard. Looking ahead, speculation remains about when Clark might return. Some reports suggested a potential comeback by late August, possibly in time for the Fever's home game against the Seattle Storm, but Coach White's latest comments cast doubt on that timeline. At this point, her return remains in the realm of hope rather than certainty. If Clark does not return by the end of the regular season, the Fever's path to the playoffs could be severely compromised, and the WNBA would lose one of its biggest attractions at the most important time of year. Yet there are reasons for optimism. Clark is young, resilient, and dedicated to her recovery process. She has already defied expectations in her short career, and many believe it is only a matter of time before she returns stronger than ever. For the Fever, her eventual return represents not just the restoration of their best player, but the reawakening of the energy and momentum that has carried them through the season. For now, however, the situation remains a waiting game. The Indiana Fever continue to fight, relying on depth players to step up and veterans to lead, all while fans hope for the day Clark steps back onto the court. The playoffs are looming, and the team knows that their fortunes may ultimately depend on the health of their star guard. Caitlin Clark has already given so much to the game in such a short time. Her injury is a reminder of the fragility of sports, where fortunes can change in an instant. For fans, the message is clear. While the wait is difficult, patience may be the only path forward. And for Clark, the support pouring in from across the country is a testament to her impact, both as a player and as a person. This season, the Indiana Fever have already endured more than their share of adversity. Whether Caitlin Clark returns in time to help them in the playoff chase remains uncertain. What is certain is that her health, her career, and her future will remain the priority. For now, the Fever, the WNBA, and millions of fans will continue to hold their breath, waiting for the day their star shines once again on the hardwood. This is Ava with WNBA Trending.